Shouldn't the roof of your mouth actually be called the ceiling? Today, I'm going to recap a 2019 action comedy film called Stuber. A quick warning, there will be major spoilers ahead. The movie starts with a shot of Los Angeles at twilight, zooming in on two detectives entering a hotel lobby. Victor Manning and Sarah Morris are there to capture a highly notorious drug lord named Oka Tejo. But as soon as they get out of the elevator, they are attacked by one of Tejo's men. Victor handles him easily and kills him. Tejo himself comes around, and they get into a fight. The criminal is highly skilled in martial arts, and Victor isn't able to capture him. He escapes with the two police detectives in hot pursuit. The man displays further parkour skills as he descends the hotel floors. Victor throws furniture at him to make him fall, and he succeeds. But Oka proves to be a hard nut to crack as he gets up and continues running. Sarah gets close enough to fight him this time, and in a struggle to capture her gun, Tejo shoots Sarah and runs. Victor arrives, but he's too late. Sarah dies pretty quickly. The movie now jumps to 6 months later, and we meet our second main character, Stu Prasad. Stu is a mild-mannered employee at a sports goods store and also has a side job working as an Uber driver. Stu is forced to give a ride to his obnoxious boss, who runs his father's store. Richie bullies him relentlessly and also has given him the nickname Stuber, combining both his name and his Uber job. Stu wants to open a spin class gym with his college friend Becca, with whom he's in love, although it's unsurprisingly one-sided. Becca is dating a professional basketball player, and it seems that Stu has no chance. The other thorn in his side is his Uber gig, for which he needs to maintain a good rating. But he is unable to get good reviews despite his best efforts because of how inconsiderate people are. We then see Victor, who is relentlessly trying to get to Tejo after the death of his partner. His captain McHenry comes to tell him that the case is out of their hands now, as the FBI will be handling it and that he should take some time off. We get to know that Victor is about to get corrective eye laser surgery, because it was due to his glasses getting knocked off that Tejo had escaped him before. Victor gets LASIK done and meets up with Nicole, his daughter, although he has trouble seeing clearly post-op. She tells him he has to come to her art gallery later that night, and installs the Uber app on his phone so he can get there easily. Later, Victor is napping in his house when he gets a call from his informant Leon. Frantically, Leon informs Victor about a drop-off about to happen by Tejo, but before he can say more, the call cuts off. Victor is unable to let go of his pursuit of Tejo and rushes out to get to Leon to find out more. But due to his impaired vision, he drives recklessly running into bushes and trees, but he doesn't give up until his car falls into a construction hole. Squinting, he then calls an Uber. The Uber that arrives has none other than Stu Prasad as the driver. Stu is impressed by Victor's appearance and comments on it, and they begin to make their way over to Koreatown. Once there, Victor tracks down Leon, finding him slumped on the floor. It takes him a few moments to realize that he has been killed. He leaves after taking Leon's phone, leaving bloody footprints as he walks away. Back in the Uber, Victor goes through Leon's call log, and the last call was with someone named Amber Titties. Victor calls Amber and finds out her location at a club. He then forces Stu to drive him there. Meanwhile, Stu gets a video call from Becca, who is pissed and drunk after seeing that her boyfriend has nude pictures of other women. She invites Stu to come over and comfort her, and he promises to be there after dealing with Victor. When Victor and Stu get to the club, he takes Stu inside with him, and to Stu's discomfort, the club turns out to be a male strip club. Victor talks to Amber about Leon, who gives him the name of a guy called Amo. Meanwhile, Stu gets love advice from one of the strippers. Stu tells Felix about how he and Becca slept together once, but act as if nothing happened. Felix advises him to express his feelings. Becca then calls Stu again, saying that her boyfriend called and sounded sorry, but she still wants Stu to come over. But Victor isn't done with Stu yet. He wants him to drive him to the location of the Amo guy, and if he refuses, Victor threatens him with a bad rating. As they leave, we see Amber calling someone about Victor. Stu begrudgingly drives Victor to Long Beach, where Victor enters a house to interrogate Amo and his men. He is enraged to find that they were smuggling drugs inside their dog Pico, who is now throwing up all over the place, and he pulls the guy outside to arrest him. He places him in Stu's car and makes him think Stu is his partner. Victor hands Stu a gun to sell their act. But Ammo quickly realizes Stu is just an Uber driver, and he attempts to escape by breaking through the window. Stu tries to stop him and accidentally shoots Ammo in the leg. Vic starts to pry info from Ammo, learning that a heroin drop is going down that night, but Ammo passes out from shock before he can tell him where it's happening. Victor directs Stu to a vet he knows, where they get Pico and Ammo checked. The vet extracts the bullet from Ammo's leg, and after that, Victor tries to use brute force on him to get him to talk. Stu interferes, opting for a subtler method. He gets into Ammo's Twitter and threatens him with tweets he wouldn't want his friends to read. Ammo caves in and tells them that Tejo is planning on a drop at 1 a.m. that night at a storage yard. Just then, a couple of men attack them, holding Stu hostage. Victor and the men try to work out a swap, Ammo for Stu, but Victor calls their bluff, knowing that they'll kill everyone. At this point, Stu faints and a fight breaks out. Victor, single-handedly and half-blindly, manages to hold off the men, while Stu comes to his senses and crawls to Victor. Ammo does not survive. Victor is only able to get shots where Stu throws an object, and together they kill their attackers. The last man gives away his location to Victor by stepping on a cat's tail. Victor then tells Stu to send a message on the sole number present on the leader's phone. They assume that the man behind the attack would be Tejo, but we see that the message is received by Angie McHenry, who is at the art gallery. Looking like crap, Victor and Stu make their way to Nicole's art show, where Victor bumps into things without a care. The two of them also attract a lot of negative attention because of how they look and smell. Stu meets Nicole and complains to her about the day he's had with her father. Victor then asks Nicole for the keys to their house for his storage unit, which she realizes is the only reason he showed up. She tells him off for being absent in her life and caring more about his job than the people in his own life. Vic leads her with a gun for protection. They leave, and Stu then takes Victor to the store where he works to get some guns, and the two of them get into an argument. Stu calls out Victor for being too aggressive and careless, hiding behind not expressing his emotions and being a bad father. They end up fighting, and Stu hits Victor with a bicycle, and they are caught by an angry Richie. Stu confronts him as well, and finally quits his job. Richie tries to stop him, revealing that he actually considers Stu his only friend. Stu tries to say one last nice thing to him before walking out. He and Victor make their way to the drop-off location, as Victor calls McHenry to send for backup. Victor makes Stu leave, as it will get dangerous for him, and also because the backup is coming. While going back, Stu stops to call Becca, confessing his feelings for her, but saying that he wants them to stop talking for some time as he needs time to process everything. He also tells her he'll remain an investor in her gym because it's her dream, but he won't be a part of it any more than that. He then notices a single car heading towards the yard and gets suspicious. Victor is waiting for backup when Angie steps out of a car and points a gun at him, revealing herself to be a dirty cop. She tells him how the FBI took the case because they suspected the presence of a corrupt cop, which was actually Angie. She and Tejo had planned this whole thing to frame Victor by making Leon call him and then putting Amber's number in Leon's contacts. Victor's bloody footprints next to Leon and his showing up on the CCTV at Amber's club would have been enough to frame him, as the club is a drug-dealing spot. She then shoots him once, but before she can kill him, Stu arrives and runs her over. They get attacked, but Victor can now see clearly and is able to shoot the men. He and Victor start to drive away from Tejo and his men before Stu's car runs out of battery. Tejo knocks the car down a hill, forcing Stu and Victor to hide in a factory. The factory appears to be empty, but they find the workers hiding in a van. Stu makes everyone call an Uber, so that it seems that backup has arrived. As Tejo is about to find the van, Victor drags it out, but it crashes, making everyone run. Victor and Stu are caught by Tejo, but soon the Ubers arrive, and Stu bluffs that it's the police backup. But one Uber driver gives them away, making Tejo hold up his gun to shoot Victor. They get into a fight. Nicole arrives and shoots Tejo, having tracked them down through Uber. There is a scuffle, which ends with Tejo pointing a gun to shoot Nicole, taunting Victor for having shot his partner a few months back. But Stu takes the bullet, saving Nicole as Victor knocks down Tejo. Nicole stops her father from killing the guy as the real police arrive. Next, Victor and Stu are on beds in a hospital room. Victor thanks Stu for saving Nicole and gives him a 5-star rating, finally tearing up. It is then Christmas time. Becca has opened up her gym, which is going really well, and Victor is seen walking up to Nicole's house with Pico. He is shocked to find Stu there, as Nicole reveals that the two of them are now dating. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy, hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. You should watch the full movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more video like this.